Hi, now let's work on few applications on cash budget. So I looked through the next applications, and the first one that's coming here is on cash receipts. So let's see, we have some data for sales, through December. Those are the dollar sales. Out of these sales, it says that experience has shown that 30% of each sales are collected in the same month, 60% in the following month, and 10% are never collected. So this is kind of like a loss. They only collect 90% of what they sell. And then we have to do a schedule of cash receipts. So let's do this here. We have all these sales numbers, 30% of each month's sale. So 30% of 60,000 is 18. It's collected in the same month, and 60% of 60,000 the next month, 36,000. The same here. 30% of 55,000, this number in the same month, and 60% that's coming from here. 60% of 55,000 is 33,000. And then it says how much is my cash receipts. So we have here for October, actually this is 30% of sales of October, and this is coming from September. And then we only add up those two columns here to do the cash receipts. And this is 18,000 plus 42, 60,000 and so forth. So that was pretty easy, right? So that was on cash receipts. Let's do one on cash payments. You're going to do the next ones on receipts like the one we just did. And let's find one on cash payments. What about this one here? Let's see, that's on cash payments, yes. So this one on cash payments says that we have sales from January through April of 290,000 for all these 4 months. Materials will represent 50% of sales per month. And because of level production, so once they see level production, that means they will smooth out production in equal quantities. That means out of 290,000 for 4 months, January to April, how much they will produce per month? 290 divided by 4. Okay, and I think this number is 72,500. And then to consider materials, you are going to have to do 50% of each month sales. Okay, this is what it says here. Materials are paid a month after the sales. Okay, and you need the information from December to do the January here. Labor cost, they are different, and we have a schedule just given. We consider this labor cost. And fixed overhead is 11,000 per month equal. Prepare a schedule of cash payments. That's the application here. Let's see what we have. Purchases. Well, this is coming from December, that was given. And the way you calculated these numbers was 290,000 divided by 4, which was actually 72,500. And then 50% of that is purchases. So 50% is going to come up with 36,250 for the month. Okay, because this is the problem, what the problem says. Labor, that schedule is given, these numbers are given, and fixed overhead given again. So we are going to calculate a total. We consider these numbers here for payments: material, labor, and overhead. And this is the schedule of payment total. Okay. Now that we did one cash receipts, we did one cash payments. Now let's put them together and do a cash budget. The next ones you are going to work similar to this one, payments. So let's see which one is payments again. You are going to do you have to do to become more confident with these calculations. Let's work on a cash budget here. So we have this company has a projected sales 6,000, 10,000, 60,000, 16,000, and 12,000. We have here sales, September to December. Of the company sales, 20% are paid for cash. So for the same months, 20% cash and 80% go in accounts receivable. Of this 80% in accounts receivable, 40% is collected, paid in the month after the sale, 1 month after the sale, and then the remaining of the credit sales are collected 2 months after. So we have to keep track of all of those. Determine collections for November and December. That's going to be for cash receipts. Then the payments over here on the second paragraph, payments are given. 13 and 60,000 for these 2 months. You don't have to calculate them. You are given that the beginning cash balance is 5,000 required. And then we have to do the cash budget, put together cash receipts and cash payments. But we have to do the receipts first. So let's work on the receipts. Those are the sales. Out of these sales, 80% goes in credit and 20% goes in cash the same month. You see? Out of this credit sales, this is where we have to pay attention. Out of this credit sales, it says that 40% is in the month after the sale, would go here. But the reason this problem in fill up with numbers is because they only require the cash receipts for November and December. So for example here, from October, out of this, that's accounts receivable. We have 40% in the month after the sale, so this is 40% of 80,000 is 3,200. And then we have 60% of accounts receivable goes in the month after the sale. So you see those two add up to 8,000. Okay. From November, let's see, this is the accounts receivable. We have 40% goes here and we have 60% is going to be in January. It's not shown. Where is this number coming from? Well, this is 60% of this number here. See, this is 60% 2 months after the sales. Well, to make your life easier, they only ask for this November and December. So to calculate your cash receipts, you have to add up these 3 numbers for each month and the same for December. And those are your cash receipts. When we move next, we are going to see that in cash payments are given. So you have to do the cash budget for November and December. Now we are going to work on the column. Cash receipts from up here, 9280, cash payments given in the problem, net cash flow. It's a negative because the payments are higher. Beginning cash balance required, 5,000. Cumulative cash flow is this number minus this number, 1280. So we have to borrow this amount to end up with 5,000 here because that's required. This is going to become the beginning cash balance. Now we move into December. Cash receipts from previous work here, you see 12,320. Then minus cash payments 6,000, that's given in the problem. Net cash flow 6320. Beginning cash balance total of 11,320. Now I have enough to pay off my loan, and I end up with an ending cash balance of 7,600. This number minus this number. So those are some applications on cash budget, and I'm going to assign you more from this topic, so you become more familiar with this type of calculations.